If I'm stressed, will I get fat? If I'm stressed, will I get sick? If I'm fat, will I get sick? Yes, I will. Ha ha. According to the experts, stress is one of the biggest killers in the world. So how are you dispersing stress? And the beautiful thing is your body's designed to disperse stress. When you're under threat, under stress, your body produces epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, and then your body gets ready to fight and flight. So you have an increase in blood fat levels, blood sugar levels, blood pressure, heart rate, so that you can fight and flight. So when you do fight and flight, you disperse the stress drugs, you feel fantastic, your brain fills up with dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor, endorphins, pain-killing neurotransmitters that make you feel good, and life is awesome. Here's the challenge. If you get stressed and you don't fight or flight, now you've got high blood fat levels, high blood sugar levels, high blood pressure, and if you don't disperse those, what's going to happen? So blood sugar, so big molecules in your hoses going through your bloodstream, blood sugar, glucose molecules bang up against your artery wall, creates damage. You get cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, you could have a stroke. Whole heap of horrible things happen if you don't burn up the sugar, if you don't burn up the fat. Interesting thing, if you're an old lady like me, if you don't burn up the fat when you get stressed, because we hear a lot lately about stress causing belly fat. Belly fat's not really a challenge if it's sitting between your skin and your muscle. But if you've got visceral fat, which is fat surrounding your organs, now you're in trouble, because if your organs get squished because there's too much fat in there, they don't work properly, so you get sick and you get diseased and everything breaks down. So we don't want visceral fat. Interestingly, men tend to store more fat viscerally, so as if you're a bloke, you want to be really careful about where your fat's being stored, and if it's squeezing your organs together and they're not working properly, you're going to be in serious challenge. For women, we tend to store fat at the back of our arm, on our backside, subcutaneously on our belly, because we have babies. But once you're past having baby stage like I am, there's no reason for your body to store fat on your backside, on the back of your arm, on your belly, because you're not having babies anymore. So it puts the fat where it thinks it's going to protect your body the most, which is surrounding your organs, which is visceral fat, which then becomes dangerous. So does stress cause belly fat? Not subcutaneous fat, the one that sits between your muscle and your skin, but visceral fat, which is really dangerous, and that's where it affects your health and where you start feeling really crappy and everything breaks down. So how do we put that into simple terminology? What's the prevention and cure for stress? What's the prevention and cure for disease? What's the prevention and cure for all fat, including subcutaneous and visceral fat? Is to get puffed, to get fit, lift heavy so that you're really strong. If you've got muscle, muscle is the biggest burner of sugar, because muscles run on sugar. Your brain runs on sugar. So if you're overcoming challenges and you're overcoming weight, your body will burn up the sugar that you put into your body. If you've got a fast metabolism because you've kept your muscle, then your body will burn up everything that you put into it. And if you get puffed and if you lift heavy, you're overcoming stress because you're producing epinephrine, adrenaline and cortisol, which then produces dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor and endorphins. So you get stress, disperse the stress, feel fantastic. That process works beautifully. But if you don't burn up all of that, if you get stressed and you don't get puffed, or you don't lift heavy, or both, then you get sick. So there's a choice there. Get puffed, lift heavy, stay healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life, stay lean for the rest of your life, don't get all the horrible diseases that unfit, weak people get. Or you could choose to be weak and unfit, and then your body breaks down. That's a choice. I'm outside in the fresh air. I think you can feel the breeze. Fresh air, sunshine, get puffed, lift heavy, live your life to the max, and get rid of the stress so you feel fantastic. Woohoo! Live your life to the max.